I'm Larry Menti. Welcome to Jersey Matters. As you may know, medical marijuana is already legal in New Jersey, and now there is a push in the state to legalize marijuana for recreational use, to legalize and to tax it. And here to talk more about that is Rick Cusick, who is the associate publisher of High Times and the chairman of N.O.R.M.L in New Jersey, and also Mary Pat Angelini, who is an Assemblywoman from Monmouth County. And I should say, as you might well guess, that Rick from N.O.R.M.L is for the legalization of marijuana. Mary Pat is against the legalization of marijuana in New Jersey. Before we even start the discussion, I know this all starts because there was a coalition in Newark that had a rally and pushed for this. Mm-hmm. Even if it were to be introduced as legislation, does it have a chance?
Not under this governor, no. Governor Christie has been he's spoken publicly about this as well as privately, that he will never sign a bill that would legalize marijuana under his administration while he's governor.
So why now?
That's a good question. I believe right now they're not going to back legislation so much as education of the population, trying to gain support within this. I agree with Mary Pat that as long as Christie is the governor, we're not going to get legalization of marijuana in New Jersey.
So will there even be a bill?
Well, there's been a couple of bills already that they've tried to introduce, but it hasn't really moved, that would decriminalize marijuana.
This is what they're talking about is not decriminalization, it's legalization.
Correct.
Which even took me by surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, the coalition itself is the NAACP here in New Jersey, the ACLU, the lawyers. There's a lawyer association. I forget which one it is.
The
municipal prosecutors, right?
So there was a coalition of several groups.
And these are people that normally operate in the criminal sphere of marijuana, rather than the social sphere. I work for New Jersey N.O.R.M.L, and we're trying to change the law here in New Jersey by talking about people. These are usually people, the prosecutors and stuff, are people that are not normally jumping for legalization.
Well, you have several states, as we talked about. You have Washington, you have Colorado, now Alaska. You just mentioned Washington, D.C. just recently also. And it does seem like it is a growing trend. It seems like legalization is happening slowly across the country and becoming more accepted.
Well, and the folks that are pushing this are using that angle as far as the criminal justice system, that it's bogging down the criminal justice system. Well, then we need to look at fixing the criminal justice system, but we don't need to legalize drugs. The Bureau,
to be fair, I haven't heard that just from the advocates. I've heard that from people in law enforcement, that they feel it's bogging down the system.
The people that are with this coalition are not your normal suspects. The people that made this New Jersey coalition together are not your normal suspects. These are the people that are normally not for legalization. They might come up for decriminalization to fix the criminal penalties to it, but this is legalization they're talking about. Now, again, we're not going to get it as long as Chris Christie is the governor. However, when I started High Times 15 years ago, 35% of the American people was for legalization. We got 1 point a year, 36, 37, 38, until 2010, it hit 50%. The next year was 54%.
No, I understand, but isn't it silly to go
have to do here in New Jersey?
If you have a governor that's saying it's not going to happen, and you
it's
have
a
legislature that's saying it's not going to happen, why even try to push for it?
Because in 15 years, we were able to push it over the 50% mark, and that's what's going to happen here in New Jersey. We'll do the education that we need to do, and in the next several years, when there's a change in governor, then perhaps we can get legalization here.
I will
and why
say,
is it
my day job is I've been in the substance abuse and mental health field for over 25 years, so I've been very much aware of the movement to. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. 15 years ago, I was at a national conference, and it was, beware, the legalizers are there, they're starting to, the camel's nose is under the tent, and I say, shame on our profession for not taking it seriously.
I say shame on your profession for not telling the truth 15 years ago, and why I'm in the position I'm in now is because over 15 years the truth telling has been told.
Our profession.
And what is your truth?
Lie.
And so what is the truth?
The truth is marijuana has been, for me, The truth has been marijuana has been vilified for many, many years. It's actually a very positive substance. It's highly non-toxic. It really doesn't have all of the pernicious effects that are pushed out, that have been pushed out forever. And one by one, we have convinced that this is the truth. When we started with medical marijuana, they said there's no such thing as medical marijuana. Well, now 86% of the American public want medical marijuana laws. When we first started talking about legalization, they said, of course you'll never get legalization. Just like you said it now. 56% of the American public want legalization because the truth about marijuana has been told.
So
I'll let you respond
next?
quickly.
What's next?
What's next?
What's the next drug? Tell me that you don't want to.
I don't want to legalize drugs at all. I want to legalize marijuana. I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I want to make sure my daughter never smoked marijuana for a lot of reasons.
Well, there's a lot of people that would also argue that heroin's legal right now as an opiate drug.
That heroin is legal?
Oh, as an opiate drug.
As an opiate drug. That the pharmaceutical companies have been
drug.
pushing opiate drugs for
That's
a long,
correct.
long time. And
that is why
the
we
basis
have
of
such a huge
exactly.
connection of heroin overdoses and people that are addicted to heroin because of the
Right, I understand. And I'm not saying two
addiction.
wrongs
The
make a
real
right,
danger
but there are
for
certain
teenagers.
things that are legal that are just as dangerous, if not more
The
dangerous.
real
point
danger
is,
for
we can't throw the
teenagers
baby out
are
with the
opiate
bathwater.
drugs.
It doesn't help if we talk over each other. I'll give you time.
The fact that, okay, everyone is using pot, so let's make it legal. I mean, you can't throw the laws out. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
You're speaking in broad generalizations.
Excuse me, sir. I'm speaking. Thank you.
I will go. I'll go to you.
The issue about us having, let's just open the floodgates. Again, it will lead to a lot of
So
other
popularity shouldn't be the
illegal
only
activities.
reason. Yeah, popularity shouldn't be the reason to make something
Correct.
illegal. Although in this country it's a democracy. That's how, unfortunately, things work, or fortunately, depending on which side you're on. Go ahead.
21,000 marijuana-related arrests in New Jersey every year. The prosecutors are tired of it. The police are tired of it. The ACLU is tired of it. The NAACP is tired of it. They've all come together as a coalition for legalization. Frankly, I was surprised they went that far this quickly because of our governor, and I'm glad they have. Legalization would solve, excuse me, I'm speaking.
Okay.
Legalization would solve a lot of the problems that you're speaking about. The problem is criminalizing it has made things worse. And that's why we need to bring this within a regulatory system and make sure that children are not exposed to marijuana as they are now as an illegal drug in their schoolyard.
Okay.
And how are we going to regulate this? I mean, who is going to regulate this? That is going to cost the state of New Jersey a lot of money because we're going to have to hire government employees to regulate it.
We'll tax it.
And well, we can tax it all we want, but I guarantee you that the other societal effects, health-related issues, addiction breaks up families. When you look at all of those costs, that is going to outweigh.
Would you be willing
taxing.
to look at what's happening in Colorado look at what's happening in Washington and watch them over a few years? And if they don't have these problems that you're talking about, are you willing to rethink it?
Sure, but I can tell you right now, Colorado has already come out and said we made a huge mistake. The mayor of Santa Cruz, California, who is a liberal Democrat, has said it was a huge mistake. Back to Colorado, the Attorney General just came out just this week and said this was a huge mistake. It was not worth it. And then when you look at just the research that shows that there is an exponential connection between the smoking marijuana and the frequency and those people that may have a propensity for mental illness and psychotic
That is not
behavior.
true.
All right, we're running out of time. I'll give you real quick. You can respond. And then we'll get
Okay, there is a slight increase in people with schizoform disorder that should probably not be smoking marijuana, and that's 0.25% of the population. The media has taken that and exploded into ridiculous statements like
That's
she
not
just
ridiculous.
made.
And I also just
it's a
very
ridiculous
quickly
statement.
about
0.25% has a.
The Bureau of Justice, the Bureau of Statistics, their statistics, that's the federal organization, the federal agency, says that 1/10 of 1% of all people incarcerated are there for marijuana-related issues. So it's not that the jails are full of people that are just there because they found a joint.
Would decriminalization, would you be for that, decriminalization of marijuana, so that there's still a penalty but you didn't have to go to jail? No.
So you think people should be penalized for marijuana? You think people should be penalized for
possession
of marijuana? For possession of marijuana, do you think people should go to jail for marijuana?
Why don't you have one last opportunity before we go.
We need to fix the criminal justice system.
But you haven't had enough time.
I've heard a lot of generalizations. Specifically, I'd like to see that in the past week, a coalition of very prestigious organizations have come out for legalization in New Jersey. That's not the cultural people that, like myself, who usually come on these shows and demand it. This is happening now. It's happening throughout the country, and New Jersey
but it's
can
not
jump
going to happen
on it.
in New Jersey.
It's not going to happen in New Jersey as long as Chris Christie is the governor. That's the truth. We can agree on that.
But I appreciate you both being here.
Thank you for having me.
Rick Cusick, who is the associate publisher of High Times and the chairman of New Jersey N.O.R.M.L, and Mary Pat Angelini, who is a Monmouth County Assembly person. Thank you both for being here. We'll be back in one moment.
Thank you.